Jayden Daniels deserves the Heisman Trophy. Okay, now I want to make this very clear. This is not an anti-Bo Nix segment. This is not an anti-Marvin Harrison Jr. segment. This is not an anti-Michael Penix Jr. segment. But I'm telling you, with the work that Jayden Daniels is putting in right now, just putting on clinics every single weekend, handing out a juice box and a t-shirt to opposing defenses by nature of what he's doing on that field, he deserves the Heisman. We'll talk about it right now. First things first, make sure you subscribe to the On3 YouTube channel. If you're an LSU fan, right there behind me. LSU Tiger helmet. We're going to talk about your Tigers going forward now, okay? I promise you that. So make sure you're dialed in so you don't miss a minute of it. We appreciate y'all that have already been subscribed. Go ahead and double check that subscribe button for me if you haven't already. Also, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at JD Piquel. Those are two really easy platforms for us to interact and hear from y'all and then include y'all's information and opinions and whatever it ends up being into the show as much as possible. So thank you so much for that. We appreciate y'all. And if you don't appreciate what Jayden Daniels is doing on the field right now, like, I don't know what to tell you. Because men lie, women lie. Your next door neighbor is going to lie about what they got going on during the weekend and how much money they're making. And like Jayden Daniels, the numbers he's putting up, those don't lie. He is in a 3,000, 1,000 club. 3,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing, 46 touchdowns accounted for, and there's only one more game left in the regular season. I say only. Like he's put up that kind of work to this point in the year with a game left still to boost those stats. Had 8 total touchdowns last night against Georgia State. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so what people are going to say now is, well, LSU's got 3 losses. People are going to say, well, LSU has 3 losses. They shouldn't be included in that. Like at a certain point, the framework with which we assess this award, we need to just look at what's obvious and put away that framework. Like the lens at which we're assessing the Heisman Trophy right now should not be best player on the best team. It should be the best player. Okay? Like there's a certain point where like we just don't need to overthink it. Think about it this way. If you're crushing it in your job, you're crushing it. You're putting up historic numbers. But the way that your company works, you are not supposed to get promoted for another 2 years. What should happen in that situation? Again, you're crushing it. You should get promoted, right? That framework that used to apply should no longer apply to the circumstance because of the circumstances being so unique. Because of Jayden Daniels being historic in the way that he's balling right now, there should be a different framework assessed here. And what I think people are going to say is, well, again, JD, best player on the best team. That's what the Heisman Trophy typically ends up being awarded to. Let's reverse engineer that thought a little bit. Best player on the best team. Where does that thought come from? Well, in my opinion, I think it comes from people saying, well, okay, they'll probably have the best team because that player is so good. He's the best player. Therefore, that's making them the best team. So we're kind of correlating player impact to making that team so good. And again, I'm not taking anything away from any other teams. I'm not even throwing shade at LSU. But let's think about this. How much better does Jayden Daniels make LSU? How many wins is Jayden Daniels worth? Because that defense now, again, no disrespect, haven't been great this year. LSU fans know that. The rest of college football knows that. Jayden Daniels, every single week, is JanSporting LSU to a victory. Okay, he is carrying this football team. So you talk about impact. What I think that original thought process around the Heisman Trophy Award went to, Jayden Daniels is knocking that out of the park. What is LSU's record without Jayden Daniels? That's the better question, I think. And I'm not taking anything away from these teams that are in the college football playoff hunt that have tremendous players a part of it, but Jayden Daniels and what he's doing cannot be ignored. And I think we are ignoring what the Heisman Trophy is supposed to be awarded for if we're not taking a serious look at Jayden Daniels and the work that he's putting in right now. Also, with the thought around, well, hey, they have multiple losses. We're not making history if we give Jayden Daniels the Heisman Trophy if they end up being a 3-loss team when it's all said and done. Robert Griffin III, Lamar Jackson, Tim Tebow. 3 players right off the bat. All those teams were 9-3. Jayden Daniels is putting up tremendous numbers. He already has numbers on par with what Caleb Williams did last season for the entire body of work through 12 games. Now, again, USC had a better record, but what Jayden Daniels is doing, he's already put up almost as many touchdowns, and I think he has already more yards than what Caleb Williams did through 12 games last season. This is not a dunk on anybody else. I just think when we look at Jayden Daniels, if we're not giving him the Heisman Trophy, I think we probably missed the point here. There's a certain point where we just don't need to overthink it. And this is one of those points. So, the program awards will actually be something that we do here on this very show before the end of the regular season, or maybe actually after the end of the regular season, we'll give you our program awards. The Hard Count Heisman will be one of those awards that we give out. Last year it went to Caleb Williams. This year, I don't know if we're going to align with what the Heisman voters say, but I'll tell you what, Jayden Daniels right now is leading that race for our Hard Count Heisman. So make sure you subscribe. Do not miss a minute of what we got going on right here. We're talking college football and only college football the way that you want to talk about it, okay? No agendas, nothing extra added in, ball and only ball, and Jayden Daniels playing some really good ball right now, okay? We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.